What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first actual episode of the Knowledge Check series on miniature painting. And I'm really excited to get this going. So if you haven't watched part 0, essentially, go back and watch that so you know what kind of kit that I'm starting with if you are just starting out like me. If you already have some paints and minis laying around because you wanted to get in this hobby a while back, just didn't work out for you, and now you're jumping back into it, awesome. Just follow along as best you can. So the first thing we're going to deal with in the video is a problem that you're going to get if you deal with plastic minis very often. And that is, what if the mini comes in and it's bent? So looking at the more zoomed in view here, hello everybody. If you take a look, you notice that the bend on the skeleton's bow is not where you want it to be. It should be more like that. And furthermore, the base on this mini is bent to where if I try really hard and maybe get the balance just right, nope, he's not going to stay standing. And that's not what you want for a mini, unless he dies automatically. Like if it's just a pile of bones, then boom, you got it. Good job. So the first thing we need to figure out how to do is get this mini unbent. Now, obviously metal minis, it's going to be a different process, but for a plastic mini like this, there's a really simple way to fix this. So we're going to go do that right now. What is up, everybody? I know I switched shirts. This recording stuff is having to happen over a couple days, so bear with me. But I wanted to show you all how to fix a bent plastic mini, and that requires being in my kitchen. And sorry about the audio quality. I'm not sure. I don't have my normal mic set up, so I'm just using the mics that I have. But hopefully it'll be good enough for this short segment, and then we'll be back in the recording area. So what you want to do is get a small pot of water to a boil, like I have here, and then a bowl of ice water, an ice bath, ready to go. And now, and of course, your mini. So I'm going to switch camera angles and show you all exactly what you need to do. Okay, hi everybody. So what you want to do is take a slotted spoon, that's something else that you're going to need, and take your mini and put it in the slotted spoon. And what you're going to see once you get the mini in the boiling water is it's going to start to revert back to its natural shape. So you'll see in my case, the bow is bending back outwards like we want it to be. And the slotted spoon is really important. You don't want to drop this straight into the pot because if it touches the bottom of the pot, you're going to risk burning the mini. And that's the last thing you want, obviously. So now the plastic is really malleable. I'm running into issue with the slotted spoon where the base that's also bent was stuck in one of the slots, so I'm going to fix that issue. And this is just kind of a waiting game. Starting to get there. You might need to help the mini along a little bit. You don't want to be too rough with it. And then what you're going to do is take your mini, put it in the ice bath. And that's basically going to lock in. You can kind of see the way the mini fell is it's standing up at the bottom of the bowl, so I know that the base is in a good position. You just want to let it sit in there for a little bit. And then hopefully that will lock the mini in to the position we want it to be in for when it comes time to paint. I'm sure you all are really enjoying looking at my hands, so I'm going to switch back to the other angle while we finish the ice bath. Okay, everybody, so we have the ice bath all done. Let me check on him. It seems hard. So, yep, seems like it's reset. So, have the mini now. I'm going to test it out just to see. Yep, stands up perfectly fine. I know it's kind of far away. But you can see that the mini is not falling over even when I tap it. It's not going anywhere. Well, if you hit it, then it's going to fall over like, all minis do. The one aspect of it that may just be by design, now that I'm looking at it, is the bend of the bow. It's a little bit better. Before it was almost touching his head. The curve is still a little too intense, but, that may just be the way the mini was molded. Because the way these minis work is their natural state, the state that you see them in on the packaging, is where they're kind of locked into. If they're held in a bent state for a long period of time, they're going to bend and they're going to stay that way unless you do this method. And this will make the plastic malleable enough to where it will go back to its original state the way it was molded. And then once you put it in the ice bath, you have a mini that the base is at the angle you want it to be at so that the mini won't fall over. So yeah, let's go back into the recording studio. Welcome back to the recording area, everybody. So as you can see, when I pull up my hand cam, hello, the mini looks a lot better now. The base is a lot more perpendicular to the rest of the mini, which is exactly what we want because now I can drop him on the table, ready to go for a fight, and he's not going to tip over unless I make him. Also, the bow does look a lot better. Like I pointed out in the kitchen, the curve is still a little asymmetrical, but you can only do so much. So I know that ideally we would like it to have that natural just looking curve all the way. But once again, if this were a PC mini, I might do the boil cold bath over and over because that's a way that you can really get everything exactly the way it was when it was in the mold. But this is a skeleton archer and this is our first mini, so I'm not going to spend all my time trying to get it to look perfect in terms of the actual composition of the mini. And like I said, it may very well be that out of the mold, it had this slightly asymmetrical curve. We don't know. But looking on the box art, you can actually see, once I thought to check this, the curve does have kind of that asymmetrical look to it. So, yeah, where it just has a lot more stark of a curve on the top of the bow. So, that's apparently the way the mini is supposed to look. So, we're all set and ready to go in terms of priming and actually painting the mini after we have it primed. Now, a lot of tutorials will tell you that you need to look out for flesh lines. And if we take a look at this mini, we can see a couple very faint ones, especially around where the side of the mini, basically where you would imagine the mold would be pressed together and then taken apart for this mini to come out. But it is a skeleton archer. So a lot of these ridges, they were very smart and had the bones where those ridges would naturally be on a mini. So we're not going to worry about fleshing or dealing with that dealing with flashing, not fleshing. We're not going to worry about that in this episode. We're just going to go straight into priming and getting the mini ready. So yeah, let's get it started. Okay, everybody, that is episode 1 of the mini painting series where we took a look at the mini and saw the fact that it was pretty bent out of shape and we needed to get that back to its original form before we could really start painting it. So yeah, next episode, we're actually going to get into the painting. So I hope you've enjoyed this one and go ahead and click over to the next episode and I will see you there.